Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. I have an Uchu Sentai Kyuranger review for you today. What I have here is some capsule toys, some Kyutama basically, and capsule toy bubbles that I received from Toy Collectibles on Facebook. So very excited. This is, I believe, the second wave of the Gashapon Kyutama. So we'll go ahead and pop these open and take a look at what we got here. So, popping these bubbles off to the side. And then these are in individual little bags. Now it's kind of nice, you don't have to put these together. With the candy toy ones, you kind of do, because they come in like a square box. But not so much with these. So the first one we have here is number 41, which is Ken Bio, or Microscopium. So you can see here is a little microscope picture. If you Mawa slide back the other way, there's half of it, and then really the Mawa slide is to complete it. So you have a flat sticker instead of a holofoil one, but hey, it shows up better on camera, so what are you going to do? Not a big deal. Putting light through the back, you can see it's kind of like a shrinking man, or maybe he was growing. It depends on how you want to look at it. I would assume since it's Microscopium, he's shrinking. Kind of like Ant-Man. You can see he's fitting in the palm of someone's hand there. So that's kind of cool. So pretty neat. That is the first one we get. Popping open the next Gashapon ball here, which I'm apparently terrible at opening. I really wish we had stuff like this in America. I think it'd be so much fun. I mean, we kind of have those little like supermarket quarter ball things, but they're usually just like goofy trash toys that aren't that great. These actually go with your other toys that you would buy normally. I think it's such a cool idea. But now we have number 42, which is Ryouken, which is apparently the constellation Canis Venatici? Venatici. I'm probably pronouncing it incorrectly because I'm sure it's Latin, and I'm doing it wrong. But you can see it looks like a dog. He has kind of a spiked collar. That's kind of neat. Slide it back the other way. There you go. Kind of a neat picture. I like that one a lot. Taking a look at the picture, you can see it's a head of a dog, and I guess he's smelling something. It's kind of like a stink cloud over here. I'm guessing that's what that is. Either way, it's a pretty hilarious picture. I like that a lot. Opening up the third Gashapon ball, if I can actually open these. Again, I'm terrible at these. You'd think I'd get better as I go along, but apparently not. So, opening the little bag. Alright, we have number 36, which is Perseus. Kind of just looks like a guy with a sword. Slide it back. Still pretty much filled in. But you can see there's a lot more there. Taking a look at the picture we see by shining light. It looks like, I'm guessing that's a winged foot. Kind of like Hermes. Not sure. But an interesting picture nonetheless. Moving on to the fourth Gashapon ball. Hey, I got that one open a little bit easier. Look at me go. I'm building momentum here. Next up we have number 40, which is Andromeda. These look like chains or something, I'm guessing. Slide it back. Looks like a whole lot of nothing. Slide it back this way. There you go. You have Andromeda. Very cool. Taking a look at the picture, if we shine the light behind. Kind of just looks like chains. Like a chain weapon of some kind, almost like a sickle. Not a sickle, a, what do they call those? Well, it's a chain weapon. I'm sorry, I apologize for not knowing the correct term. But yeah, it's like, if you remember Ronin Warriors at all, Anubis had like a sickle with a chain that went to like just the thing, and he would kind of whip the chain at people. It was neat. I'm sure there's a term for that weapon, and I just don't know it. So if you know, let me know in the comments below. Now the last one in this assortment is kind of less exciting because it's one we have already. It is the Swordfish, or Kajiki for Dorado. We obviously already, this one came with Kyuranger, so not that exciting. But I believe this one should have a different picture. So you can see the head of the swordfish there. Some kind of charging effect, looks like. Some kind of power lines around his head. But all the ones that came with Kyuranger had the cockpits when you shine the light through. So it's kind of neat to get a version of Kajiki that has the actual swordfish picture. So that's kind of cool. I like that a lot. So this is the assortment of the 5 Kyutama you get for the second wave of Gashapons. It's kind of a bummer that 3 of them are kind of like a light, either dark or light gray. Not a lot of color in this set, but the green from Microscopium and the yellow is nice for Kajiki. Yeah, they still have the pin system underneath. You can see that there's kind of just like a matte gray finish for the color of the plastic. Whereas some of the other ones, like a deluxe one, has a little bit nicer plastic. Kind of a darker gray looking plastic. Or, I mean, they look very similar, to be honest. So, I like the Gashapon ones. I think they hold up well. They seem pretty solid. I mean, the only real difference is you don't have the hollow foil sticker, but it doesn't really bother me. I think the flat stickers look just as good, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't really mind them at all. I like them a little better than the Candy Toy ones, just because you have to put them together, and I appreciate that these come pre-assembled. Again, just my opinion. But yeah, that's the looks and pictures and paintings on the globe, for lack of a better term. Let's move on to the sounds that we get when we use them in the Seiza Blaster. Alright, so first up I'm going to do Kajiki just to kind of get it out of the way, because I'm sure the sounds are going to be very similar. So yeah, it just says Kajiki because it's one of the ones that transforms one of the Kyurangers, so it says the name at the end. I guess I'll run through this quick. Yeah, I mean, all the sounds are going to be the same as the Kajiki we already have because it would have the same pins. So there you go. I'm going to pop him out. Next I'll go in numerical order, so I'll go with Perseus next. So it doesn't say a name at the end because it's not a transformation Kyutama. So kind of an interesting movement sound there. It almost kind of sounds like the screech of a bird, which Perseus is not a bird as far as I know. Perseus, however you pronounce it. I'm saying it wrong. But in any case, moving along. So the docking sounds are always the same. I just did the first one to show you. I'm not going to do it anymore after that in this video. They're always the same. So there you go, that's Perseus. Putting him off to the side. Next, I will do Andromeda, number 40. Whoops, get it snapped in there. I like that little music there. Kind of interesting. Kind of the same movement sounds as Perseus. So that's interesting. Again, I really like that music. So there's Andromeda. Next up, we'll do Microscopium. So that's kind of the same sound as the other two that we've had so far. I wonder if that's like a default sound when they don't really have like an animal associated with it, because usually if it's an animal, they try to pair it with the sound that animal would make if it moved around. I'm wondering for like humanoids or inanimate objects, they just kind of have a default sound, because it seems to be the same sound for all three that we've looked at so far. Little lackluster, but not bad. So that's it for Kenbyo or Microscopium. And then last up we have the Ryouken Canine one. So there you go, you get a cool kind of dog growl. I like that. Alright, so unfortunately, again, I thought maybe there'd be some kind of dog bark sound, like even if it was just that bark sound we just heard as the movement sound. But again, we get that same kind of default movement sound, so I don't know if maybe that's a Gashapon thing, but I don't think that the actual Seiza Blaster can tell if it's a Gashapon or a Candy Toy. It would only be the pin system, so maybe just when they got this high, they just kind of left those sounds out, or maybe if it doesn't have a sound, it just uses the default. I'm not sure, but that movement sound is kind of always the same. So there you get the dog kind of growl sound again, which I like. So there you have it. They always launch themselves out of there. Yeah, so that's it for the sounds. I think they're pretty neat. I appreciate... pretty much you're going to get the most value for the sounds out of the normal attack, which is one click back, and the Voyager sound, which is one click up. When you do the transformation, because only Kajiki is used to actually transform into one of the Kyurangers, you're not going to get any kind of new sounds, or you're going to get the standard transformation sound and then no name at the end. When you're doing the movement, when you hold the trigger down, we heard that that sound's always the same, and the docking sound, that's the same for every Kyutama, no matter what it's from. Docking is always the same. So again, when you call the Voyager and when you do the first attack, that's where you're going to get most of your sounds. It will also say the name of each Kyutama when you first insert it. So that's kind of it for about, 2, maybe 3 unique sounds for each one. But pretty cool in my opinion, and they're fun to collect. So just to sum up, I've kind of said my piece, but I think they're fun. I think it's a fun little gimmick to collect. I did get these from Toy Collectibles, which is a store on Facebook. I think they have a presence in the U.S., so I think the stuff comes to them from Japan, and then they mail it out around here. But I got all 5 of these for $30 shipped. So I feel like that's really not a bad price. It's about $6 a piece. Yeah, I already had Kajiki because it came with Kyuranger, but at least it's a different picture, so it's not the cockpit picture. So in that capacity, I do appreciate it's at least somewhat new, even if all the sounds with the Seiza Blaster are kind of the same. But, I mean, I just like collecting them. I think they're a fun little gimmick to collect, and I would love to try to get all 88 that I believe there's going to be. I don't think that's going to happen, because I'm sure eventually you'll get down to, you know, 5 to 10 that are just rare and hard to get and cost you an arm and a leg, and only time will tell. But this is the second wave of the Gashapon releases. If you're looking to find more, eBay would be your best bet. Stores like CS Toys and Toy Collectibles, I believe, sell these individually. HLJ usually does like a random assortment of Kyutama, if they do it at all. So you just kind of have to look around on the internet and see where you can get them. But I recommend these. I think they're fun. Like I said, they're fun to collect. I'm definitely enjoying trying to get them all. It's a lofty goal, but we'll wait and see. And I think the price was right on Toy Collectibles. Including shipping, $6 a piece really seems like a good deal to me. So I think they're fun. Yes, they don't have a ton of unique sounds each, but I think the collecting is part of the fun of them, especially when you eventually have a massive collection of these. They're going to look really neat all together. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like and share this video, and please subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you've enjoyed this look at the second wave of Gashapon Kyutama with, and I'll do the roll call again real quick, you have Ryouken, Andromeda, Microscopium, Kajiki, and actually this is called Kenbyo, if I'm saying that correctly, Microscopium, and Perseus. I guess I should have put them in order, but oh well, what are you going to do? So anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and as always, thank you so much for watching.